Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy, and this is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. So what do we got going on today? Well, today we're going to finish up our 4 Grain Vodka. Our last video we did the stripping run, so now we're going to do the spirit run. Okay, so we're going to be using my new bubble plate. I've never used one before, so this ought to be interesting, I believe. Hopefully it all works out good for me. So, can you hear the cicadas? They are awful loud today. Okay, but first things first. Like I always say, there's 5 things that you can really do to help us out. Number 1, please subscribe if you haven't got a chance to do that yet. Number 2, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And number 3, share us with your friend, get the word out. Number 4, if you like what you see, please give us that thumbs up. And number 5, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we're going to take our distillate that we did off our stripping runs. We're going to charge the still up with that. Okay, so let me get some water in here. Remember, it's got to be below 48 BV. Alright, let me finish this up, then I'll be right back. Okay, it's I diluted it, I just checked it. It's down about 30%, so we're good on that. We'll start getting the still stacked out, and it's going to be just a little bit different than we're used to. But not too much different. I'm going to put a sight glass on the bottom. Extremely warm today and noisy. Ain't that pretty? Hopefully it works well. Like I said before, I've never used a bubble plate before, so I'm really interested in seeing how it's going to work out. We're all going to learn together. Okay. Everything's hooked up. Everything's hooked up. We're going to start warming it up and we'll see what's going to happen. Alright, so let me get this thing warming up and we'll move on, okay? Okay, so while we're waiting for this to heat up, what is bubble plates? Well, bubble plates is the vapors are going to start coming up, and we got these 4 plates within the column, and this is a perforated plate, so it has real little holes around the outside, and it has this cap that will try to maintain a certain level on each top of each plate. So as the vapors are coming up, it has to interact with the puddle that's on top of the plate. So in turn, what that helps to do is break loose the alcohol from the water that's there, so that the most pure alcohol moves on up to the next, and moves up, and in the same turn, the more water, let's call it, is dropping down and down and down, so that you're going to come out with a more pure alcohol. We should be, I'm hoping to get off about 95% alcohol. So it's just starting to steam up here in this bottom plate now. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave reflux off just for a couple minutes. I'm going to collect my 4 ounces off the top. Remember, we did not do any cuts in the strip run, so now we're going to do it. So I'm going to collect off the first 4 ounces so that we can discard it, and then I'm going to start the reflux, and then we'll start loading these plates up, all 4 of them up, and then once we get them loaded up and comfortable and get it all to balance out, then we'll start cutting the water back on this reflux chamber here, or this pre-condenser, whatever we're going to call it, and then we're going to let the most pure vapors come up. Okay, so we'll be getting close here. Okay, it happened pretty fast. You can see all the plates are loading up. Let me turn this heat down just a little bit. Alright, so I'm collecting off the first, I'm going to collect off the first 4 ounces, and then I'm going to go into full reflux. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I got my 4 ounces. Now I'm gonna start easing on the cooling water to my reflux there. And we'll probably see my head temperature drop. My production over here should probably stop. So I'm down just a real little drip on my production. My head temperature did drop almost 10 degrees. And you're going to start seeing my plate starting to fill up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let this go on for a little bit, and then what I'll start doing is just easing off the water on my pre-combustion or pre-condensing chamber there until I get a nice little drip coming out, and it should work out very well. Alright, so let me let this continue on for a little bit, and we'll stop. Okay, so I collected my first jar off. Let's check her out and see what kind of proof we got going on here. Sure smells good, tastes good. Oops. We're coming off at 90%. That's 180 proof. think for just learning how to run a bubble plate, I think that ain't too bad. Okay, so let's keep running this, and we'll see what the next jar is like. I mean, there is a learning curve with this. What I've found so far is really trying to get the balance between, you know, your output or your production, and that is controlled by how much cooling water I'm sending to the reflux and how much energy I'm putting into the pot. And so there is a learning curve on this, because if I put too much cooling water up there, it will stop producing. So I got to cut it back, but I want to keep my plates full to keep that interaction with the vapors coming up and liquids mingling, sending the water back down, and the vapors coming up. So there is a learning curve to it, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. I got 2 pints off so far at 90%. So I think once I finally got it dialed in, I'm not touching it now. You can see the top plate, you know, she's pretty full, a lot of action going on there, and you can see it drop down, and the other 3 plates are bubbling away, and I also see in the slate glass on the bottom water going back down into the brew pot. So this is pretty interesting. Like I said before, this is my first time, so if I mess up, be kind to me, okay? But I'm having a lot of fun. Alright. Hey, I finished up this run. I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 quarts, starting off at, I think it was 90, did I say that? 90%. And I finished up with my last one was at, when it was coming off the still at 50. Coming out right out of the still at 50. So that last one I might use, but everything is, I mean, tastes fantastic. It just tastes so nice and clean. I think that bubble plate is going to be a nice addition to my brew house. So what do I do next? Alright, next what I'm going to do is probably tomorrow, or when I get to it, is I'll make sure I taste everything. I will combine it all together. I wanted to keep a couple good quarts of high proof, you know, a couple bottles of high proof for, I might make some limoncello, or Bearded and Bored, he just did some grapefruit cello, and I thought that was a pretty neat idea. I'd like to make some of that myself. And then the rest of it, I just wanted a good vodka for, you know, I like vodka for making mixed drinks and stuff. So, I think this was a big success. I'll have a tasting later, but it's just too hot to taste it now. But it come out very good. Okay, so the only thing I got left to do today, I ain't gonna bore you with. I'm gonna let the still cool down, clean everything up, clean my mess up. So, the only thing left to say is, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.